Hi everyone, and welcome to a very special Worth the Calories. I'm Matthew Vose.
And I'm Catherine Vose.
This is now a Junior Bake Off podcast.
Yay!
Yay. We never watched this before.
Has it been on before?
It ran for like 4 or 5 seasons on the BBC, stopped in 2016 and hasn't come back since.
Oh, interesting.
So this is the reincarnation of this show.
Right.
I think with a fairly similar format. And the format's the same. So I think we've got a few things to discuss here.
Yep.
I think we are going to gush about this show.
Love it.
We are going to talk about the format.
Yeah.
Because it's a slightly different format. We're going to talk about some of the bakes and some of the things they've done.
Yum.
And then we're probably going to rhapsodise a bit more and go on about this show.
Love it.
Any comments you want to make first? What do you want to say about Junior Bake Off?
Oh, it's so joyful. And quite frankly, the resilience of children just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Oh, disaster, weep. Whee, off we go again.
Yeah, but I'm having a good time.
I know, love it.
I feel a little bad saying this in some ways, but there are a lot of people who were a bit disheartened by recent series of the Bake Off.
Yes.
Certainly this most recent one, the technical challenge, if I'm going by the big complaints, the technical challenges are a bit trash and we can ignore them. So the other challenges are sometimes rubbish and weird and hard and all about the time. The judging is negative and criticises people, and they're just looking for things to point out and be negative about, and it's just too much at times. So if you didn't like the recent Bake Off, this is the show for you.
Absolutely, because all of that stuff is just fixed, right?
Yeah, the Junior Bake Off is what Bake Off should be.
Yes.
It is, like you say, it's joyful, it's happy. The judges look for the best in everything.
I really like. I especially like it when Prue's judging. She's like, "Oh, that bit looks like it's done a bit better. Let me eat that bit."
Yes,
perfect.
And
She's
saying,
not looking for the bits where she can rip them to shreds.
Yeah, absolutely. When she says like, "Oh, they're all very funny lengths. That one's baked really nicely. Let's cut that open."
Yeah,
perfect. Like, point the things out, and even when they are pointing things out, you can see the coaching that they've had because it's so good with Liam every time. And I suspect this is Liam's inexperience with presenting in this way and judging in this way, but he knows every time he says, next time try doing this.
Liam is an absolute natural in front of that audience.
Oh yeah, with those kids, he's
they
lovely.
Adore him. And I mean, quite frankly, so do I. But, like the way he clowns around with them, you can see that they think he is hilarious.
Yes.
They're hanging over every word. And every time he gives them criticism, it's genuinely constructive criticism to teach them how to do it better next time.
Yeah.
It's lovely to watch.
He's giving it in the way of, you're going to be here with us tomorrow. You're not going home. Don't worry. And this is what you should do next time you have to do this, thing you're never going to have to do again.
Absolutely.
Whereas in the actual Bake Off, it's always about, oh, you've let yourself down here, or you should have known how to do this. So
it just makes it, because Prue is Prue. She's a bit more gentle, but she's not that much more gentle.
No, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. But like the swapping out of Paul for Liam, perfect for this show.
On the BBC, it was a whole range of different judges. It started off with Paul and Mary.
Right.
Then Paul left and it was someone else. Then someone else came in and judged it. Nadia even judged one season of it. I think the first season after she won.
Oh, we might have to look at this up on iPlayer.
BBC, so I suspect they're on BritBox or something now, but you never know. So
other boxes and streaming services are available.
Yeah, because BritBox.
That's a streaming service that's not actually aimed at the British audience.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Anyway,
which, as an aside, all the people having a go about like, oh, I paid my TV license, why can't I watch this show? You could watch the show when it was broadcast.
Yeah.
If you want to watch it again, you have to pay money, as you've always had to do. Anyway, one of the other things I love about this is the way they treat these bakers.
Yes.
These kids. And the kids range from something like 7 to 15.
Yeah.
So there's, a big age gap between some of them. we never see the parents. We never see people being like, "Oh, that's hot. Oh, just be careful. Oh, just the thing you always see with kids being looked after by the things around them.
They have knives. They have ovens.
Exactly.
That wouldn't happen at my brownie unit.
And they're there for this week with their parents. Or, someone is looking after them.
There must be some guardians around the place, right?
There are people on standby to make sure as soon as they're going near anything hot, they're being very careful. And people watching it to make sure they don't forget something or do something silly. Fine. But they're not showing it. They are treating all these bakers like adults. This is their show. This is their contest. And they're getting to have a go at it.
Absolutely.
And it's wonderful. And the kids are rising to that.
Yeah. It's really interesting seeing the different ages interacting with each other as well. I think the young ones are very, like, they're rising to the challenge.
Yeah. I think when we started this year's work, this series, it was interesting how it was the young ones sort of going out and sort of struggling a little bit. But actually, as it's played out over the week, that's not happened. No. It's been a whole mix, depending on how people have baked things and what creations they've gone for.
I maybe this is just me, but watching the older ones help the younger ones tie their apron bows. I was just like, oh, you're so cute.
And then the fact that one of them went home, one of the older lads went home, and I think it might have been Tilly. One of them said, "Oh, who's gonna tie my apron now?" Like, oh, but they do, and they've helped each other and been supportive of each other throughout. And again, that's the thing that people love about the Bake Off.
Yeah.
It's not competitive as a competition.
Yep.
As the week has gone on, this first week of it, you've seen them learning that actually, if you're finished early, you can go and help someone else.
Yeah.
And it's fine. And it's celebrated. And it's a good thing. And you've seen them rallying around. The point where Zoe tipped over her dessert as she picked it up, and it just went. And you could see how distraught she was. And instantly, they're in there picking bits up, reassembling it. Everyone's trying to make it look good. Fine.
Yeah.
Great.
Poor Zoe.
Yeah. Oh no, cat ears.
It was when the camera focused on her stack of pancakes and you just heard her little shuddering sob in the background. I was like, oh, you poor little thing. You poor little cat ears.
And you can see some of them have been crying at times, particularly when they're told they're going home, things like that. But then you get the interviews where they say, but it was just so much fun. But I really enjoyed it. You see them talking to each other. And it is everything that is great about the Bake Off with none of those complaints.
Exactly.
Wonderful. So let's talk about the format.
Yes.
2 challenges.
Yep.
1 day in the tent.
Yeah.
But 5 consecutive days.
Yeah.
Okay. Technical challenge followed by a showstopper. So it's really concise. And the challenges themselves, and this is absolutely fair, the challenges are not ridiculous, multi-layered, 7 different technique type challenges. But some of them are challenges I would love to see on the actual Bake Off.
Yeah, they're interesting. And they're not easy.
No.
And they still get pared down recipes. That surprised me, because I was thinking, it's the kids. Surely they'll give them full recipes. No.
At the very least, they don't tell them how long to leave it in or this kind of thing.
And they say things like, just make a cake mixture.
Yeah. Great.
Wow.
So, I mean, some of them are similar sorts of ones that we've seen about disguising your food or making a thing look, stuff we've seen in normal Bake Off, in inverted commas. But things like make a Frankenstein dessert.
Yeah.
A dessert that combines 2 nice desserts into something else. And some of them were coming up with really good ideas. Some less good ideas.
Yeah, I'm not sure about treacle and lemon.
No, I'm not sure about the pancake meringue stack.
No.
But in general, that's a really good idea. I think it would need to be a little more focused for actual Bake Off. But it's great.
Good. Yeah.
And I like that all their challenges as well, all those showstopper challenges, have an element of design to them. In fact, technicals do as well.
Yeah.
There was an element of, certainly the early ones that were really easy, but it's bake a cake to represent, I think, your dream job. No, we have bread to represent your dream job. Biscuits to represent your favourite lesson in school.
Yes.
Oh no, a cake to represent your favourite lesson in school. Illusion biscuits based on your favourite food. So it was bake a biscuit that looked like something else.
Right.
Or decorate that looks like something else. Bread that is your dream job.
Yes.
And then Frankenstein desserts.
Yeah.
And I cannot remember what the last days was.
gosh, what
It was
the
pastry.
finale?
Make an animal out of shoe pastry.
Oh, yes. Some of them were so good.
And they were really good and filled. So there was an emphasis on fill it, make the right nice cream, make it taste good, all this sort of thing. But also make it look good.
Yeah,
in an
and some of them did such a good job.
Yeah.
Like, amazingly good. Yeah. No, it was really, really lovely.
Yeah.
Really lovely. And I like the format.
Right.
I mean, obviously, some of this is about the fact that they're kids.
Yeah.
So whatever they're doing, it can't possibly clash with school or
No.
make them exhausted over the weekend. So it must be the end of the summer holidays or something like that. The idea that we've got 3 weeks in a row still.
Yeah.
Although I wonder if maybe they just run straight on after a proper Bake Off in terms of timing.
I think there was something in there. Because Prue's been on crutches all week.
Yes.
And I'm sure that happened as Bake Off started. So this is August.
Right.
But I suspect if you get into this, you seek dispensation from your school, and that's part of the interview process. Because you would expect any school to want their kid to go through an experience like that.
Although, oh golly, what's she called? The girl that makes them really amazing bread plats.
Maddie?
Mm-hmm. She was saying her family gave up their holiday to Italy to allow her to be on. So maybe that week at least was still in the school summer holidays. But
although, oh no, August is the summer holidays, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, no, I'm being silly. Yeah, I've got it the wrong way around.
It's not like we're massively au fait with the school summer holiday
there is
timetable.
that. I'm thinking football seasons, and they do start in August.
Not quite the same as school.
So yes, maybe
but not far off.
Maybe it's the last 3 weeks of summer holidays.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I like that. I like that they are just there for a day.
Yep.
They seem to put more weight
Clearly there for 5 days in a row, potentially.
Yes. Yeah.
And you would assume the kids from next week will be there for 10 days in a row if they make the final.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe.
Absolutely. I like they seem to place a lot more weight on the technical.
Yes.
It's like a genuine thing. But then there is a lot more... there's a lot more differentiation in how they get on in the technical, I think, between the kids.
Yeah.
It really is a clear indicator of skill and ability to follow a recipe.
And experience. I think it plays
yeah.
into a lot of it for them. I will be interested to see how it does when we get to that finals week. So the full format is you get 5 days that are... Oh, it started with 10 bakers.
Right. And we lose 5, yeah. And then we're left with 5.
Then you have another week, which I'm assuming is going to be 10 bakers, and then you're left with 5.
Yep.
And then there's going to be finals week. So I wonder if the final is still 5 people left on that last day. Which would make sense. Like, it would alleviate some of the stress of it, maybe.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see quite how that plays off. But once you've gotten to that stage of all the people who perhaps shouldn't be there, perhaps were a bit weaker, or less experienced, less knowledgeable, less skilled.
Yeah.
And once we really get into it, and it's not an age thing.
No, it's not.
I don't think.
No, it's not. Well, we've lost some of the older ones.
Yeah.
And we've still got some of the littlies.
And it really came out at the end of the week that Bakker was really good at his decoration.
Yes.
Really good at making things look good. But actually his baking, every time they were, you've overbaked, you've not quite done this, your flavours aren't quite there. There were things that he's got one really good skill down. Now we can work at the rest.
Yeah.
So...
No, it's really good. What I thought was interesting as well, like even with the initial people going out and stuff, there wasn't a Dan. Sorry, Dan, but there wasn't someone who in episode 1 you're like, oh, dude, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Early seasons of the Bake Off where someone used salt instead of sugar.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, you can't be in the tent if you're doing
None of the kids were baking that badly.
No.
Every time, I think it's been quite a tight decision as to which one of them to send home.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although a number of them have dropped bakes and
they are a little clumsy.
It is the walking forwards without looking where they're going and walking into someone, things like that. It adds to the entertainment of it. It
does, and it is so typical of children of that sort of
age. Yes,
it
is. It is a learning experience. Like, this is why you look where you're going when you're walking. Yeah. So it's a little bit what we miss on the Bake Off. Things, Bin Gate is the one we reference.
Yeah.
Because that's the big entertainment moment, in inverted commas, that was, went viral, that everyone talked about. And there's so little of that.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's quite nice and just like...
Yeah.
gets on with it and helps everyone else out.
Exactly. Whereas in this, it's quite entertaining because they do silly things, and then they make a joke of it, and we move on.
And they all congratulate each other so well.
Exactly.
It's so cute.
They are all very well mannered, very well behaved, and I think that interview process probably has a lot of different elements to it about who's coming on, their accessibility to the show. Are the parents able to look after them during this process?
Their resilience. Are they going to throw a tantrum?
Yeah, because you could see some of the kids just losing it and walking off.
Yeah,
and probably in both ways, not just their resilience, but their understanding of it. You are going to get some criticism here. Are you up for it?
Yeah,
and getting them to be, yes, I'm prepared. Yes, I'm okay to. They're not necessarily coming in with resilience. They're understanding this is going to be a tough thing.
Yeah,
it's great. It's so good. Yeah.
Yes, I want to do some of their technicals, although quite frankly we don't have the time. But
no,
there are some of them. Which of the technicals that you've seen this week, which would you most like to have a go at?
So the technicals we've seen have been English Madeleines.
Yep.
Viennese Whirls, but multicoloured Viennese Whirls.
Yep.
Cinnamon Buns.
Sorry. Yes.
Pancake art.
Yep.
And vegetarian sausage rolls with a plat.
Oh yes, which look quite tasty actually.
Which do, yeah.
But I prefer a bit of sausage in my sausage roll.
Yeah. It's probably the cinnamon buns. What was the one before that? Viennese Whirls. I have always wanted to try piped biscuits.
Yeah.
Because I do like that as an idea, and I do like I love the idea of doing multicoloured stuff and so on. So, yeah, that'd be interesting. Not with a rhubarb compote in the middle. No.
Oh, I like a bit of rhubarb. Well, this is the thing. You don't like rhubarb compote, and there's apple chopped up in those cinnamon buns, so that doesn't really make it very Matthew friendly.
Right, you don't need to put the apple in, do you?
Could put raisins in instead.
Yeah. Glacé cherries.
I'm not sure about glacé cherries and cinnamon. I mean, obviously glacé cherries make everything better, but
are the cinnamon buns the ones for you?
They are, but to be honest, there's actually other tear and share buns recipes that I'd try first.
Yeah, I think that's been done on Bake Off. Possibly they did an American week, and that was the thing, tear and share buns or something.
Exactly. This last season, because I remember Helena. She
did them as one of hers, but I'm sure it has been a challenge.
Okay,
that sort of buns before. The pancake art one. I mean, that's been the standout, interesting one.
Yeah.
They have to draw a stencil of Prue, and they have to make different coloured batters and cook it on the stencil, and then tear it off and have a pancake that looks like Prue made out of pancake batter. I would like to see that sort of challenge on actual Bake Off. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That is testing accuracy, detail, timing, so many elements of it. It's just a little short.
Yes.
Is the thing. But I love the fact they were given the stencil and told, here is what you need to do. And you can look at them and say, which ones have come out better than others.
Yeah.
Great.
Really good. I think they all did so well.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the fact they all presented fewer than they asked for.
Yeah.
It was just, this challenge was really difficult in that way. So in fact, actually,
it was just a time.
They're given it, because I think they might be given an hour for every technical and 2 hours for every showstopper.
Right.
There's
probably rules on how long you can make kids work for, because it's work, I guess.
But like I said, they sit there and they all have to sit behind their benches and take up their showstoppers and take the criticism or and plaudits, and then sit back down, and then they sit in a row and are told who's Star Baker and told who's going home. They are treated like adults in doing this, and they are rising to it. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah,
lovely
it's so good, and it's such a lovely show.
If any of you who have access to it haven't watched it yet, please watch it. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I think we need to double check. So if Mandy or another American listener can have a look and see if it's appearing on Netflix over there, maybe we'll do some research, see if we can find out, because this is something people should watch. I could see this taking off if it got enough people watching as actually this is the better version of Bake Off.
They're so cute.
Yeah. And they are lovely kids, and they are funny and friendly and good with each other.
And it is just joyful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's lovely to see all their different personalities coming out and just how excited they are with it. How is it Alina?
Yeah.
Who is coming across as she is, I think she is the actual oldest. She comes across as a little bit more mature, but is still relishing being there and helping everyone out. And
yeah, she's good fun, isn't she? But she's
Yeah.
also super knowledgeable.
yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
she's, I think you mentioned as we were watching it, there must be pressure on you as an older kid in the tent, like an expectation
Yeah.
that you're going to do better than these kids who are about half your age.
Yeah.
So she's weathering that and working with everyone and being lovely, and
Yeah.
it's great.
It's very
so
nice.
Yeah, so we thoroughly recommend going and checking out Junior Bake Off.
Yeah.
It's on every day for the next 2 weeks, Monday to Friday. So we will try to keep up with them. We'll do another episode for the next one.
Where we may continue to gush about how lovely it is.
It might well be that. I think now we're used to it. It's going to be really interesting seeing different kids coming in.
Yeah.
A whole different group. And I like the way they're doing this in the same way they did the professionals. Different groups, and then they will combine them at the end. It's again another nice twist on the format.
Yeah.
Because you get your favourites and you get the ones that you really enjoy watching and are hoping do well. So,
and that'd be interesting to see the two groups coming together.
very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Cool.
Terrific. We will try to put out more episodes when the next one's done, and maybe we will do some baking ourselves. Maybe we did some baking today, and we're still friends.
Yum yum.
Thanks for listening. If you like this, don't forget to check out all the other shows we do on eloquentgushing.com. And if you'd like to support the show, we have a Patreon where for $1 a month you can help support this show and everything else we make, and get access to other podcasts on our network, and get access to our exclusive merch as well. Go to patreon.com/eloquentgushing. We will speak to everyone next week for Guinea Bake Off.
Hey!